Stop plucking, stop waxing, stop standing 2 inches from the bathroom mirror with a pair of tweezers, squinting at your chin under the harshest light you can find, pulling out those dark, coarse, stubborn hairs one by one, hoping no one notices. You have been doing this for years, maybe a decade, and the worst part is not the pain. The worst part is that they keep coming back, faster, thicker, more of them every year. I will call her Margaret. She is 67 years old, a retired piano teacher from Portland, Oregon. Margaret came to me 3 years ago and she was embarrassed, not because of a medical condition, not because of a chronic disease. She was embarrassed because of hair growing on her chin. She told me, and I will never forget her exact words, she said, "Dr. Lee, I spend 20 minutes every morning removing hair from my face before my husband wakes up. I have done this for 15 years. I am exhausted." Margaret thought this was just aging. She thought she was alone. She thought the only solution was to keep plucking, keep waxing, keep hiding. Margaret was wrong. And if you are sitting here right now watching this video, feeling the same shame, the same frustration, the same exhaustion, I need you to hear what I am about to say very clearly. Those chin hairs are not random. They are not just a cosmetic nuisance. They are a signal. Your body is sending you a message about a specific hormonal imbalance. And once you understand exactly what is happening inside your body, you can stop it at the root, not at the surface, at the root. I am Dr. William Lee, and I have spent over 3 decades studying how the human body regulates itself, how blood vessels grow, how cells communicate, how hormones orchestrate everything from your metabolism to your skin to the hair on your face. My research on angiogenesis has been published in Science, the New England Journal of Medicine, Nature Medicine, and The Lancet. And today, I'm going to explain exactly why you are suddenly growing chin hair after 60, the hidden hormonal mechanism that most doctors never mention, and most importantly, the 3 specific foods that block that mechanism naturally. No hormones, no prescriptions, no more tweezers. Drop a comment below and tell me your age and how long you have been dealing with unwanted facial hair. I read every single comment, and trust me, you are far from alone in this. Before we get into the science, I need you to subscribe to this channel. Every week, I share practical, science-backed, food-based strategies that help you take control of your health after 60. Do not miss a single video. Hit that subscribe button right now and let us get started. Now, to understand how to stop chin hair, you must first understand why it is growing in the first place. Because if you do not understand the root cause, you will keep plucking forever. Every single hair follicle on your body, every single one, from your scalp to your eyebrows to your chin, is programmed by your hormones, specifically by the balance between 2 types of hormones, estrogens and androgens. Estrogens are what we typically call female hormones, though men have them too. Androgens, including testosterone and a more potent form called dihydrotestosterone, or DHT, are what we typically call male hormones, though women have them too. In a woman's body, throughout her reproductive years, estrogen keeps androgen activity in check. Estrogen signals to hair follicles on the face that they should produce fine, light, barely visible vellus hair, the kind of hair that covers your entire face and body, what we sometimes call peach fuzz. Androgen, specifically DHT, signals to those same follicles that they should transform. DHT binds to androgen receptors on the hair follicle and tells it to switch production. Instead of fine vellus hair, it starts producing thick, dark, coarse, terminal hair, the kind of hair that grows on a man's chin. The kind of hair you have been plucking. Here is the critical piece of biochemistry that most people, including many doctors, do not fully appreciate. DHT is not produced in your hair follicles. It is produced elsewhere in your body, primarily in your skin, your liver, and your fat tissue, by an enzyme called 5-alpha reductase. This enzyme takes regular circulating testosterone and converts it into DHT, which is approximately 5 times more potent than testosterone at stimulating hair follicles. And here is where it gets directly relevant to you. Before menopause, Estrogen suppresses 5-alpha reductase activity. It keeps that enzyme in check. But after menopause, when estrogen levels drop by up to 90%, that suppression disappears. The 5-alpha reductase enzyme becomes more active. More testosterone gets converted to DHT. More DHT circulates to your chin hair follicles, and those follicles, which have always been there, always had androgen receptors, suddenly get a much stronger signal to grow dark, thick, terminal hair. This is why your chin hair started appearing after menopause. It is not a coincidence. It is biochemistry. And it is also why plucking, waxing, threading, and laser treatments are all temporary solutions. They remove the hair shaft, but they do nothing to stop the DHT signal that keeps telling the follicle to produce more thick hair. You are treating the symptom, not the cause. Now, here is the good news, and this is where food becomes medicine. There are specific foods and the compounds they contain that can naturally reduce 5-alpha reductase activity. They work like a gentle dimmer switch on your body's DHT production. They do not eliminate androgens entirely, which would be dangerous because women need some androgen activity for bone density, muscle maintenance, and libido. They simply bring DHT production back down to a level where your chin hair follicles stop receiving that exaggerated signal to produce terminal hair. The 3 foods I'm about to share with you have been studied in randomized controlled trials and peer-reviewed research. They target the DHT pathway at 3 different points, creating a comprehensive multi-angle approach. And when used together consistently for a period of 8 to 12 weeks, the results can be genuinely life-changing. The first food is so effective at blocking 5-alpha reductase that a randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in the journal Phytotherapy Research demonstrated that it significantly reduced unwanted facial hair in women with hirsutism in just 12 weeks. Let me tell you exactly what it is and how it works. The number 1 food for stopping chin hair growth after 60 is spearmint, not peppermint, spearmint. Specifically, spearmint tea consumed twice daily. And I want you to understand the exact mechanism, because once you understand it, you will see why this simple herb is so remarkably effective. Spearmint contains a compound called rosmarinic acid. Rosmarinic acid is a polyphenol, a plant compound with powerful biological effects in the human body. And rosmarinic acid has a very specific, very targeted effect on the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. It inhibits it, it reduces its activity, and when 5-alpha reductase activity goes down, less testosterone gets converted to DHT. Less DHT means less signal reaching your chin hair follicles. Less signal means less terminal hair production. But rosmarinic acid has a second mechanism that is equally important. It also has a mild anti-androgenic effect at the receptor level. What this means is that even the DHT that is still being produced has a harder time binding to the androgen receptors on your hair follicles. Rosmarinic acid partially blocks those receptors. So you are getting a double effect. Less DHT is being produced, and the DHT that remains is less able to do its job. It is a powerful 1-2 punch. The clinical evidence for spearmint is compelling. A landmark study published in the journal Phytotherapy Research in 2010 studied 42 women with hirsutism, that is the medical term for excessive male pattern hair growth in women. Half the women drank 2 cups of spearmint tea daily. The other half drank a placebo tea. The spearmint tea was prepared by steeping 5 grams of dried spearmint leaves in 250 milliliters of boiling water for 5 to 10 minutes. That is 1 heaping teaspoon of dried spearmint leaves per cup. After 30 days, the women drinking spearmint tea showed a significant reduction in their free testosterone levels. Free testosterone is the testosterone that is available to be converted into DHT. Lower free testosterone means less raw material for DHT production. And after the full 30 days, the women in the spearmint group had measurably lower androgen levels circulating in their blood. But the most striking study came later. A randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in Phytotherapy Research in 2017 took this research further. This time, the researchers specifically measured facial hair growth in women with hirsutism over a 12-week period. The women drank 2 cups of spearmint tea daily, prepared the same way. After 12 weeks, the spearmint group showed a statistically significant reduction in objective measures of facial hair growth compared to the placebo group. The hair was growing slower, it was less coarse, and the women reported a significant improvement in their quality of life. Here is exactly how to use spearmint for chin hair. You want organic dried spearmint leaves, specifically spearmint, Mentha spicata, not peppermint, Mentha piperita. Peppermint contains menthol and different compounds that do not have the same anti-androgenic effect. You can find dried spearmint leaves in most health food stores, herbal shops, and online. Brew 1 heaping teaspoon, approximately 5 grams, in 1 cup of boiling water. Cover it and let it steep for a full 10 minutes. This is important. Do not just pour the water over and drink it immediately. The rosmarinic acid needs time to extract into the water. 10 minutes. Covered. Then drink. Drink 1 cup in the morning and 1 cup in the evening. That is the therapeutic dose used in the clinical trials. If you do not enjoy the taste of plain spearmint tea, you can add a squeeze of fresh lemon or a small amount of raw honey. Do not add sugar. Sugar spikes insulin, and insulin is a separate trigger that can worsen androgen activity. I will explain that connection when we get to the third food. Now, the second food works through an entirely different pathway in the DHT cascade, and its effects have been documented in one of the most prestigious dermatology journals in the world. The second food for stopping chin hair is pumpkin seeds, specifically raw, unsalted pumpkin seeds consumed daily. And the mechanism here is completely distinct from spearmint, which is why these 2 foods work so powerfully in combination. Pumpkin seeds are one of the richest natural sources of a mineral called zinc. Zinc plays a critical role in hormonal regulation, and it has a very specific effect on the enzyme 5-alpha reductase. While spearmint's rosmarinic acid inhibits the enzyme directly, zinc works by a different mechanism. Zinc is a cofactor for another enzyme called aromatase. Aromatase converts testosterone into estrogen. When zinc levels are adequate, aromatase activity is optimized, and more testosterone gets converted down the estrogen pathway rather than the DHT pathway. You are essentially diverting testosterone away from DHT production by giving your body the zinc it needs to run the aromatase enzyme efficiently. But pumpkin seeds contain more than just zinc. They also contain a unique class of compounds called delta-7 sterols. These are plant sterols that have a structural similarity to human steroid hormones. Delta-7 sterols have been shown to directly inhibit 5-alpha reductase activity by competing with testosterone for the enzyme's active site. In simple terms, the delta-7 sterols from pumpkin seeds occupy the 5-alpha reductase enzyme so that testosterone cannot get in. If testosterone cannot reach the enzyme, it cannot be converted to DHT. It is like parking a car in the only spot so no one else can park there. And pumpkin seeds have a third component that matters for chin hair: lignans. Lignans are plant compounds called phytoestrogens. They have a very weak, very gentle estrogen-like effect in the human body. They bind to estrogen receptors and provide a mild estrogenic signal. This is beneficial after menopause because it partially compensates for the drop in your body's own estrogen. Remember, estrogen is what keeps androgen activity suppressed in your skin and hair follicles. By providing a gentle, natural phytoestrogenic signal, pumpkin seed lignans help restore some of that suppression. The clinical evidence for pumpkin seed oil specifically is well documented. A randomized, double-blind, placebo-controlled trial published in the Journal of Cosmetic Dermatology studied the effect of pumpkin seed oil on hair growth patterns. While this study focused on scalp hair, the mechanism it demonstrated, 5 alpha reductase inhibition is directly applicable to facial hair as well.